Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. Well, today I wanted to share some tips and ideas with you on how you can direct sow beans in your vegetable garden. And the variety here is Royal Burgundy, and they are a bush variety. And this is what they look like here. So thanks for joining me today. So anyhow, here at Plant Smart Living, we just love our bush beans. You know, it's an easy variety to grow. You don't have to worry about growing these up a trellis. Although I do plant some Kentucky Wonder beans up a trellis. But you know, behind every pack there's always some helpful information to guide you on your sowing your seed process here. Here on the pack it says, "Have fun watching the beans turn green while cooking." The Royal Burgundy has 5 to 5.5 inch meaty purple pods. Excellent fresh or frozen. To freeze, just blanch 2 to 3 minutes until pods turn green. And then a garden tip here is an early hardy variety that does well in cooler soil. And the planting depth is a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I'll probably be planting these about 1 inch deep, maybe even a little bit further. It's not going to hurt to plant them a little deeper. That way the soil won't dry out as much or as quick. And then thin here to 4 to 6 inches, and they require full sun. And it says sow after danger of frost. And then here maturity is 55 days. And so if you've seen some of my other videos, you know, again, I'm using the composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. I get 10 yards every season from Barnyard Compost. I pay around $30 a yard. And so that pile's going to probably last me a little bit more than a year. But I also then use the alfalfa pellets. It's a nice balanced nutrient for your soil. It adds compost and organic matter to your soil, feeds the soil microbes, and it's a slow release fertilizer. And so I'm simply just going to take this, I use an empty coffee container, and sprinkle them over the soil right where I'm going to be planting these. I have half of a bed here. The other part of the bed I'm planting a couple rows of carrots. Those plants are coming up real nice. And so I'm going to be planting here these bush beans in the other half of this bed here. And these Burgundy bush beans, they get about 2 feet high. And so just simply make sure your soils, you want nice, loose, fertile soil, as with any vegetable. Just work it back throughout your entire bed. Even in the early spring, I'll go through these beds and work my alfalfa pellets in like sometime in March. So that way they already begin to break down. And then I add another helping of these pellets when I go to plant. And then just take the back of your fork here and level the soil out. And then I just use a straight pole here. It's about 6 feet long to mark my row here. I'm going to come back about 8 inches off the front edge of my garden bed here. It's all right, Bailey. Hey. Shh. And so I'm going to rock it back and forth just to mark my row, and then take my garden trowel here, kind of has like a V shape, and you can just run it right along that groove then that the board left. And that way it's a nice, quick, easy way to make a nice straight row. And you want to try to make sure your soil doesn't have a lot of clumps in it. And these are a nice big bean to work You know, and so I just put them in my hand and just drop them in the hole every couple inches. And so you're just simply going to go along and lay them there in the soil. Again, these are going to be about 1 inch deep, so you want to make sure they're definitely 1 inch deep into the soil. Again, direct sowing seeds is very simple to do. I prefer doing this than using starting my seeds indoors under grow lights, although that's okay too, you know. And then I just also have another small hand trowel or hand rake that I like to use. And then you can just cover your seeds right up. Yeah, what's neat is these beans are purple. And then they turn green when you cook them. But I enjoy growing these every year in my garden. And then I just take the back of my rake here, hand rake, and tamp it down in, firm the soil up nice. And then you know, use a stick or a rock or something and mark where each end of your row is. And then, of course, you want to really mark the end of your row before you backfill, which I had already laid a stone out on each end. And then simply just take your watering can and water the seeds in real nice. And I would say in 7 to 10 days, you know, these are going to be germinating for you. You could also cover these with a row cover or a row cloth if you want to keep the birds off or any animals from digging in and stealing your seeds. But anyhow, yeah, maturity on these is 55 days, and so we're looking forward to having these in another month and a half, because we just love our string beans here at Plant Smart Living, especially since now we follow a plant-based lifestyle here, and you know, we've gotten away from eating the meats and dairy and the cheeses, you know, the foods that injure our body. And you know, my wife and I have experienced amazing health results in doing so. So anyhow, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to leave them in the section below. And you know, also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you can receive future videos. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me out here in the garden today. It's always fun being out here. It's you know, nice and peaceful and relaxing and therapeutic, you know, getting away from those busy schedules. So anyhow, I just hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.